Welcome to Yoga Community. This is a Yin class with Sarah Lyne-Narasimha. I invite you to find a comfortable seat at your home practice with a blanket to prop your hips up on, or if you have a cushion that you like to use, feel free to grab the cushion. Normally in the studio we have various props for anyone to use for their comfort and for their ease in the pose. Since we're all at home, feel free to use whatever props you have. I'm going to have this class be a bit simplified without props. If you have them, feel free to use them, but I won't be demonstrating them in this class today. Also, I encourage a practice of pranayama, the practice of pranayama and the breath before class to try to center yourself, to kind of tap into that parasympathetic nervous system for the body to de-stress and move deeper in. If you have a practice of pranayama, feel free to use your favorite techniques. Today we're going to find our seat, sit up tall, and cultivate that deep breath to start the class. Just lengthen through the crown of the head, roll the shoulders up towards the ears and back. Allow the knees to relax towards the floor. You can have the hands resting on the upper knees or the thighs or in your lap. And just to start, let's close the eyes and begin breathing in through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. A few centering breaths, keeping that spine lengthened. Try to align the crown of the head over the tailbone. Lengthen through the back of the neck, relaxing the shoulders, allowing the face to relax. Allow the belly to relax, the abdomen to relax with the breath. And noticing the body, areas where the breath can help release tension. Slow down the thoughts, bringing the awareness to that breath. And just where you're seated, I invite you to walk the hands forward. If your knees get a little tired, feel free to release the feet from beneath the body. As you walk the hands forward, release that lower back. If your head doesn't quite reach the floor, since we're not having props, you can stack your fists to relax your forehead onto. And use that breath, keep the body relaxed. And in Yin, we keep these poses for 3 to 5 minutes. For this class, we'll probably stick to about 3. Drawing that awareness to the breath. Also noticing the body, the ribs expanding with that breath. Feel the back, feel the ribs in the back expand as the breath draws in. And feel the ribs contracting towards the body as the muscles and everything pulls back in as you exhale. In the practice of breath control, pranayama has shown to help regulate blood pressure. That awareness of the breath can help calm the body, calm the nerves. And slowly lift the head from the fists or the floor. You can extend the arms out. Let's walk the hands to the left. Taking that left hand as far out to the side as you can. And if you like, placing the right hand on top and then bowing the head, relaxing the body. Again, making any adjustments to the legs that you might need to for your comfort. And feel the stretch in the side body. If that right hand on top of the left is a little too intense, feel free to take the hands a little closer to the center, since we will be in the position for a few moments. You can always adjust the body, the hands, to go a little deeper or come out a little bit. One good indicator is that breath, keeping the breath slow and long. If you feel it become short or quick, maybe back out of the pose until you regain that fullness and depth of the breath. Allowing this time to be present right here in your body, that breath again. All the awareness back to the breath, back to this place. Letting go of the thoughts that crowd our mind. Giving a bit of respite and solace. And walk the hands slowly back to center. Lengthen through the crown, draw that length, draw that breath in and take it to the other side. Walking the hands to the right. And again, placing that left hand on top of the right hand if it's comfortable, or working your way into that after a few breaths. And bringing it back to the center, slowly lifting the chest, walking the hands forward. And if you like, taking the fists together, resting the forehead on the fists. You can take some small movements just in the shoulders, rocking them back and forth towards the floor, maybe rolling the back slightly, keeping the length in the back as you settle in to the forward fold. Listening to the subtle rhythm of the breath. And we'll put pressure into the hands if they're forward, or lift the head off the fists. Walk the hands closer to the body as the chest lifts, sitting upright. Keeping the blanket underneath your hips if you like, or if you'd like to remove it, feel free. We're going to take the outside of the knees and we're going to take the feet apart on the mat. If you are on a carpet or an area where you have support under the bonier parts of the body, feel free to have any thing that you need to provide comfort in those areas. And we're going to take the shoulders back. Let's feel the shoulder blades behind you knit towards one another. If you find that the ribs come forward, draw the ribs back. Lengthen through the crown. And we're going to take the toes and point them up towards the sky. We're going to root through the sit bones as we sit tall. And then exhale, folding forward. Let's take the hands forward. You can rest on the forearms if this is enough for you. If you need to prop yourself up with the hands a little bit more, feel free. You can take the neck and head down, maybe roll side to side just a little bit to release the upper part of the neck and shoulders. Again, we'll be here for a moment, so you can start up higher, and then with the breath, ease down into the forward fold. Feel it on the inner part of the groin. Using that breath, that flow. And take that breath, and we're going to create space in any part of the body. Draw that awareness using that breath, that focus. Going to come to a point where you can feel the stretch, but we're not going to go too far and cause any harm to the body. So these stretches are going to be drawn into the connective tissues, not just the muscles. That breath is going to help that awareness, reaching the areas we would like to reach in the body. And press into the hands, lift the chest. Slowly walk the hands towards the body as the chest rises, the crown of the head comes up over the tail. You can take the hands behind the knees. I'd like to do this just to support the joints a little bit. And we're going to draw the feet together. Butterfly pose. So we'll start with the feet coming just to parallel so that the shins are in line. Or if you like, take the feet out a little bit further away from the body. More of a diamond shape, wherever you are at today. Eventually, if you like, you can draw the feet closer to the body, but again, just so that the shins are in alignment, not coming so close to the body that it creates an angle. If you do have those cushions, again, you don't need the props for this pose. You can have the seat elevated, or if you have a pillow and you want to support the outer knees, you can place the cushion under the knees if that's what you need for a little extra support in the hips. If you also happen to have a bolster at home, you can place it between the feet and hug the bolster, whatever you like to do in this pose. And we'll just take the chest, again, lengthen through the crown, draw those shoulder blades towards one another. If you feel the ribs come out, draw the ribs back so that the spine is aligned, and begin to take the chest forward. You can use the elbows to press the knees towards the floor and just allow the body weight to come forward. Using that breath again to bring that awareness. Again, the state of the breath can reflect the state of the mind. We want the slow, deep, thoughtful breath. Slow the thoughts of the mind. Release the agitation. Release the stress. Release the fluctuations that occur in the thought process, and release those thoughts. Draw that awareness to the body where we would like to ease tension, using the breath as that vehicle for change, slow and deep. Allow the chest to rise with the inhale, slowly coming all the way up. Again, grab the outer edge of the knees. Let's draw them in. And position yourself on the mat so that you have space behind you. We're going to move on to our backs and do the rest of the class on the back. So we're going to help support the lower back and maybe draw some relief if we've been sitting a lot more than normal, and this will help protect the low back in some of the poses if you're unfamiliar with some of the movements that we're going to be doing. So make sure there's space behind you, and we're going to come all the way down onto our backs. Let's leave the soles of the feet on the floor, take them a bit farther apart than the hips, and allow the knees to fall towards one another. Take a moment just to feel that lower back, the sacrum, resting on the floor. Maybe do some pelvic tilts, maybe tuck the tailbone towards the knees, up towards the sky, and extend it, and just roll that sacrum on the mat. Using the breath, experiencing any sensations that you might have in the lower back. Good. And then keeping the left foot where it is, we're going to draw the right knee in towards the heart center, up towards the chest, hugging that into the chest. And then we're going to take the left leg and we're going to straighten it up towards the sky and slowly lower it down, hovering above the floor. Good. And then draw that leg straight up. Again, that left leg comes up towards the sky and slowly lower towards the floor, just hovering above the floor. And one more time, drawing that left foot straight up to the sky and then slowly drawing it down towards the floor, using that breath, hovering there for a moment. You're going to notice all the muscles in the lower abdomen, and then lower that leg all the way to the floor. And then focusing again on the right knee, draw that right knee in towards the chest. Let's draw it in towards the center, so it might come across the body slightly, and then out to the side. We're going to hug that right knee towards that right shoulder. If you can't get it just towards the shoulder, you can just hold the back of the thigh or the top of the knee and draw it in using the breath. We're going to hug the knee in just for a few moments. Notice the lower back. Using the breath again, drawing the breath in, we're going to feel the breath fill the abdomen. We're not going to keep it shallow just because the knee is hugged in. Really feel that breath enter into the body. Maybe the knee is pushed away by the amount of air that is drawn into the upper body and abdomen. And then we're going to release the knee just a little bit, and we're going to reach for the inner sole of the right foot with the right palm. So that knee is going to come down maybe to the outside of the shoulder. If this is a little too intense with the leg straight, that left leg straight, you can take the left leg, bend the knee, and take the sole of the foot onto the floor. If the right knee doesn't come quite towards the shoulder, you can reach to the inner part of the calf. Find what works with your body today. Use that breath to guide the body into a place where you can feel the stretch, but that is not causing discomfort. half stirrup. If you have props in your home practice, an option is to take your bolster or your block and place it under the sacrum. Doing the same pose, just with the sacrum lifted up a little higher. Might intensify it a little bit more. And we're going to slowly come out of this pose. Release the inner part of the foot. Hug the knee into the chest. The right knee hugs into the chest. And we're going to straighten that right leg onto the floor. And use that space in the lower back. Maybe tilt the pelvic bowl. Just see how that feels. And draw both knees up to the chest, hugging them in. We're going to lift the forehead towards the knees. Few breaths here. And lower the head down towards the floor. Keeping hold of that left knee. Draw the left knee into the chest. We're going to lengthen that right leg straight up to the sky. Slowly lower it towards the floor, allowing it to hover. Inhale, taking that right leg back up to the sky. Slowly lower down towards the floor, hovering above the floor. Inhale, back up to the sky. And exhale, slowly lower, hovering. We're going to hold that hover. Notice those abdominal muscles, any of the little muscles, the hip flexors, and then slowly lower the legs straight down. Resting on the ground, keeping that depth of breath, that awareness of the breath. Hug the knee a little tighter into the body. The left knee comes maybe out towards the shoulder, and then hug it in towards the center, coming across the body a little bit. And then hugging it, drawing it towards that left shoulder. Holding here for a moment. You can stay here or you can reach for the sole of the left foot with the left palm of the hand, drawing that knee towards the floor, maybe towards a little bit outside that left shoulder. If that's a little too intense, you can bend that right knee, place the sole of the right foot on the mat, or begin to straighten it. If the knee doesn't quite come towards that left shoulder, you can draw the hand to the inner part of the calf, or just hold the back of the thigh. Again, we'll be here for some moments, so you can always make adjustments in the pose as we move through our breath. Keeping the breath slow. State of the breath often reflects the state of the mind, calming the mind as well. Drawing those thoughts back to this place, to our body, to our breath. slowly release that left hand. Hug the left knee into the chest and draw the right knee into the chest as well, lifting the head up towards the knees. Good, and then release both soles of the feet to the floor. We're going to pick up that right leg straight up to the sky. And we're going to take the outer ankle, place it on top of the left knee, and reach through the hole with the right hand and interlace the fingers behind the left thigh. As you draw that left knee in towards the chest, you can use the right elbow to press the right knee away from the body and experience that stretch in the outer right hip. If this is a little too intense, you can always keep that left knee extended away from the body just a little bit more. Find that place where you can experience the stretch deep in the hip without any pain in the knees. And it's a little adjustment. Find that place where your body is experiencing the optimum amount of stretch without pain, and use that breath. Slow. Often we might experience a little bit of fear. The fear of having pain might limit us from being able to experience an opening in an area. Use that breath to try to reach beyond that fear, to have a better understanding of allowing ourselves to experience that intensity of the stretch, but knowing when that intensity might be harmful. Find that balance. Find that area that you can go to experience that depth, experience your body, releasing the fear, using the breath. For those of you who might want to go a little deeper, you can release the thigh and take the sole of the right foot maybe to the inner part of the left elbow. And you can take the right arm, wrap it around the shin, and draw the lower leg in towards the chest, and maybe begin to straighten that left leg. That's a little too intense. Bending the left knee, sole of the foot on the ground. We'll slowly come out of this pose, releasing the hands, taking both legs straight up to the sky, hugging the knees into the chest, and taking the sole of the right foot, placing it on the ground. With that left knee bent, take the outside of the left ankle and place it on top of the right knee. Reaching through the hole with the left hand, grasp the right fingers behind the right thigh and begin to draw the right knee towards the chest. Staying here if you like, or draw that knee a little closer to the chest. You can use the left elbow to press the left knee away from the body. Keep the back resting on the floor. Keep the breath steady. And breathe into that intensity. Notice the breath. Don't let that intensity tense up the rest of your body. You might feel that deep stretch in the hip. Try to relax everything else around it. The shoulders are still relaxed towards the floor. The face is calm. Teeth aren't clenched. Again, if you'd like to take it a little deeper, you can take the inner part of the right elbow and wrap it around the sole of the left foot. That left arm is going to come around and the fingers are going to clasp around the shin. That right foot could come down towards the floor, knee pointing up towards the sky as you hug the shin in towards the chest, or you can straighten that leg out onto the floor. Can be pretty intense in that outer leg. Again, be aware of your body and what you're available for today. Using that breath, always come out of the pose if you find the breath becoming short. Gain that depth of breath and then enter back into the pose. And if your fingers are interlaced, either behind your thigh or over the shin, make sure they're loose. Let's try not to clench and tighten. If you notice your knuckles are white, maybe relax the hands. And slowly release. Hug both knees into the chest. Straighten both legs up towards the sky. And slowly as you bend the knees, let's take the feet to the floor. And we're going to allow both knees to roll over to the left. Let's take the arms out to the sides. So the feet are still going to remain wide as the knees fall to the left. Maybe take your gaze over to the right. And then bring the knees up towards the center. We're going to let the knees fall over towards the right. Maybe the gaze goes towards the left. And bring the knees up towards the center. What we're going to do is a cat tail pose. So we're going to take the hips, maybe shift them towards the right just a little bit. And we're going to take the knees to the left. So the feet are going to be stacked, the knees are going to be stacked. We're going to take that left hand, and you can take the left hand and place it over the right knee, drawing it towards the floor. And if you reach down with that right hand, you might be able to reach the top of the left foot. So that left foot is going to reach out behind. Left knee is going to be pointing more in line with the body as that right knee draws over the body. Yeah. And as you're in this pose, breathing, finding that body comfort, that alignment in this pose. Relax. Allow the slight twist in the lower spine, opening with the breath. And as you find the breath in this pose, find the sweetness, the sukha. You might also extend that right leg straight out, eventually reaching for the foot. If the leg is straight, bend that knee. Pause for a moment before slowly coming out of the pose, rolling onto the back and allowing both feet to be flat on the floor, both knees up towards the sky. And then shifting the hips, picking up the hips and shifting them to the left, allowing both knees to fall to the right, and that twist. And then that right leg can come back. You can reach for that right foot with the left hand as the left knee comes across the body and out to the side, to the right of the body. Right hand can place on top of the left thigh. And finding this space with the breath. Moving into that twist, feel the back twisting. Use that breath to keep length in the back. And if that left leg is available to open up and extend out to the right so that left leg becomes straight, grabbing the foot with the right hand, using that breath to stabilize the body, to encourage that calmness and the intensity. Encourage the calmness in the mind. Bringing the awareness into the body, to this pose, this breath. If the leg is straight, bend that left knee, pausing for a moment, and then slowly coming out, coming to the back, both soles of the feet on the ground, finding that center, hugging the knees into the chest, and we'll lift the head towards the knees. And then take the legs straight out on the mat and find your way to Shavasana. If you have a blanket or a bolster and you'd like to place it behind the knees, go ahead and place that support just so the knees are slightly bent. Find that comfortable place, take the shoulder blades down, and find that calm space where you can just let the body go. Allow the breath to flow in and out naturally. Face is calm, the whole body is calm. Allow yourself to relax in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. In this practice, it'll just be for a few moments, but feel free to extend it as long as you are able. Remain in Shavasana as long as you like. When you're ready to come out of it, draw the breath deeper into the body and bring small movement to the fingers and the toes. Maybe allow the head to fall to the left and to the right. And then find your way to one side, pausing for a moment before slowly pressing up to seated position. Taking a moment to draw in the gratitude, to draw in all the benefits of the practice. Taking that moment to yourself, and then allowing that to be abundant within in order to share it with others, your family, and whatever you're doing to help the community. Be well. From the light in my heart to the light in each of yours. Thank you for practicing with me in your home, through yoga community, and myself. Namaste.